Well guys, it's that time of year again for our annual trap line. Me and my cousin usually set a trap line during Christmas break here. This will be our, I think, going on our third or fourth year doing it. So we're gonna do it again this year. So I think the first year caught 12 coons, and then last year we caught 17 coons, I think, on the trap line. So hopefully this year we'll be able to catch a little bit more. Still kind of cold out here. It's definitely warmed up a lot these past few days. So it's gonna be around 40s during the day and then get down to like 20s and 30s at night, but that's still a lot warmer than what it's been. So hopefully they'll be moving some. But we're gonna get the four-wheeler ready, get all the traps loaded up, get the trailer hooked up. That way tomorrow, once we get off work, we can head out and start setting a trap line. Well, we got the first box rigged up on there. A little loose, but it ain't gonna go nowhere. So we got the bag in the back. Now I need to see if I can find my other milk crate. I like to mount that off to the side, and I can put all my bait in there. And then this is an old paper box, and the conibears fit perfect in there. So I'll fill that up as well. Yep. But I try to keep everything organized as I can. That way when we're setting the trap line, it's easy to grab stuff and we don't have to dig through all our shit just to find one thing. It's all kind of got its own separate compartments. So last year we were down the river setting some DPs, and I had this one here down the river by a big old den tree. Well, I was staking it in. I'm like, damn, yeah, that's going in pretty good for being down in the river. Because it sucks when you're using stakes because you hit a lot of sandbanks and everything. So it's hard to get them in. So sometimes we'll use cables, and it's a lot easier. You just feed the cable around the trap and put it around a little tree. You don't have to stake it in. But I didn't have any of those at the time. Usually my cousin carries those with him. But I got that one in there. Hell, that went in pretty good. A week goes by, caught a coon, went to go pull it, couldn't get it out. Well, by that time the river was getting pretty high from all the rain and stuff we got that week. So the trap was completely underwater, and we spent about a half hour trying to get it out. Well, the stake was drove down into a tree root, so we couldn't get it out, and we had no tools with us or anything because we were just pulling traps. So I think I ended up taking a rock and beating the swivel off of it, and the stake and the chain's still down there in the river. So I robbed this off an old trap I really don't use a whole lot, so we're gonna replace the chain on this now. Let's feed that through there. Put that chain on there. I'm gonna take my vice grips and clamp it on there. They do make a tool for this. I ain't got one, but for what I do, a vice grips is gonna work just fine. If you get that set on there right, it clamps pretty easy. I like to do it till it locks, that way I know it's really on there. And that's on there now. Ain't no coons getting off that. Hopefully I just don't drive it back into a tree root. So should be good for that DP. Well, we just about got the rig all loaded up here. We got 15 1.5 coil springs here. And then we got 25 DPs down there as well. And then we got 12 110 conibears. We got all our trapping stakes here in the back. some T stakes, and then we got some stakes down there with the washers on them. I like using those stakes with the washers more than anything rather than the T stakes, because you catch something, and if that T stake's on there, sometimes they can spin that chain around that T and slowly work that stake out. I've never had it happen. I've heard of it happening to people. It makes sense, I get it, but I've went and caught coons on these before and can take the stake and just pull it right out like that. So the ones with the washers, it allows them to swivel around without getting it all wrapped up and being able to pull it out. But this basket here is where I'm gonna keep all my bait at. That way it's nice and easy, and I don't have to, yeah, it's just where I always keep my bait. And then whenever we do catch coons, I like to throw them into this side compartment. That way I don't have blood and stuff leaking all over the four-wheeler. It will a little bit on this back fender, but most likely, most of the time it falls off down through the bottom there and hits the ground, and I don't have to worry about having it all over the place. So it kind of just helps keep the unit clean here. So we get the rest of the stuff loaded up here. Just gotta load up the bait, and then we're gonna do a little test spin, make sure everything is running good, not gonna fall off, and then we're gonna hook up the trailer to the old Ranger Danger there. And that way tomorrow when we get off work, we're ready to roll. So I'm not sure how much muskrat traps we're gonna set. If we run into some spots with some rats, we might set a few of them, but I'll just bring them just in case. There's not as many rats around here as there is coon, and with the prices being down and everything else, I like kind of trying to keep some of the rats around, you know. But if someone wants them out of their pond or something, I'll obviously get them for them. But other than that, I like keeping them around just because they're not as many, and I think they're neat. So it's something I like trapping, but I don't want to go crazy about it. That way, if I want to trap a couple every year, I'm still able to, and I don't trap out all my spots. But right here's my container. I keep a lot of my traps in through the winter and stuff. Keeps them nice and dry. Hopefully later this season we can get in some beaver trapping. I got these big old boys here. I think there's 330 conibears. Them some big traps. So last time I was down south, there were still beavers down that creek, and we did get permission. So hopefully we can get down there and trap some beavers this year, but we'll see. Rig's all loaded down. Got all our bait in there. Got one of those full, and that one full, so that should be enough to set our traps, and then I'll just have to restock it once I get home here after the trap line. But we're gonna go take it on a test run, make sure everything's gonna stay on here. Running all right. Took her off-road a little bit. Seems to be holding up. So we're gonna load her up on the trailer. She should be ready to roll for tomorrow.